Tonight we have Thomas Emerick. He's a sports reporter for the Collegiate Times and also has a weekly column on NFL.com. He's here to talk about Tech football and tonight's game against North Carolina. Thanks, Thomas, for being here.
Thanks for having me, Kevin.
So the game tonight at 7:30 in Lane Stadium, it's a kickoff time. I hear, we do pretty well on Thursday nights. How so?
Well, we're 15-4. Virginia Tech's 15-4 all time on Thursday nights, and we've had a couple of our heartbreaking ones in the past, but those were against Boston College. Out of the 4 we've lost, 3 were against BC. And if you remember the Clemson game back in '06, when Virginia Tech toppled a Clemson team that was really highly hyped. And just looking back many other years, we've just been a great Thursday night team. And going against North Carolina this Thursday, you figure Tech will come out with another one of their typical good Thursday night performances.
So Virginia Tech made the Orange Bowl for the past 2 years. Are they in peril of missing it this season? Like, is this game tonight a must-win?
You could say that. Georgia Tech's already 5-1 in the ACC, and Georgia Tech beat us. Right now, Virginia Tech has 1 loss in the ACC play, but that was against GT, and because Miami lost last weekend against Clemson, it's now down to these 2 teams. Virginia Tech has to it definitely has to hope Georgia Tech loses at least 1 game and then pretty much win out. I don't imagine Georgia Tech really losing 2 more in ACC play the rest of the way. So yeah, you could call this a must-win. Every ACC game here on out for Tech is a must-win if they want to make it to the Orange Bowl and get to the ACC championship, because Georgia Tech and Virginia Tech are in the same division of the ACC, and they have to get through there to go to the ACC championship down in Tampa.
Now, Tech lost to Georgia Tech their last game, and so what should they be doing this week, or what should they have learned over their bye week?
Yeah, definitely stop the run a little better, but thankfully for them, Georgia Tech, arguably the best rushing offense in the country. At least the most confusing to stop with that triple option. You won't be seeing quite the same thing, though North Carolina with Sean Drone did a pretty good job, did a lot of damage against Florida State last week on the ground before they ended up losing that one. But definitely not the same offense with North Carolina, and North Carolina QB T.J. Yates struggled in the second half last week. But he did a number on Tech when they played North Carolina last year in Chapel Hill, until T.J. Yates got injured, and then Tech had a big second half comeback thereafter. But this game, I don't think Tech wants to bank on T.J. Yates getting injured and going out.
Well, let's talk about North Carolina. What should Virginia Tech be scared about North Carolina? What's their biggest asset?
Defense is ranked first in the nation in total defense, first in the ACC in total defense, and 8th in the nation. So they have a good unit there. Quan Sturtevant, linebacker, Charles Brown at cornerback. They got a defensive lineman that has 7 sacks in the season. So that's definitely some scary parts in the defense. Their coach, Butch Davis, knows how to recruit. He was the guy who revived Miami in the '90s and helped bring in players like Sean Taylor at safety, and had Jeremy Shockey at tight end. They had running backs and Clinton Portis, and a lot of people know Santana Moss, especially in this area. That was one of those most stacked teams in the late '90s there in NCAA history with Miami. So the guy knows how to recruit. He ended up going to the pros the year before Miami won the national title, and coached the Cleveland Browns expansion organization to their only playoff berth, and in the history of that expansion franchise. But the defense is good, but Ryan Williams should be even better this week, because a lot of people don't know. Against Georgia Tech, Ryan Williams very sick and lost 8 pounds. A lot of people may not realize the guy lost 8 pounds. He was so sick, and yet still ran for 100 yards against Georgia Tech. Now, he was on the Heisman watch list a couple weeks ago, so maybe you see him return to that watch list with now that he's healthy.
So what should Virginia Tech be hoping for then?
Just Ryan Williams now healthy, just to absolutely run loose. Just keep handing off to him. Tyrod Taylor certainly gave Georgia Tech a scare there at the end, bringing them within 28-23. And he's been a completely different quarterback since the end of that Nebraska game, that long bomb to Danny Cole. Things really changed for him this season. And now that he's been more efficient with throwing the ball, you're hoping for more of the same against North Carolina. North Carolina's 4-3 though, and they're really not a great team. Their top win was at Connecticut, which is okay, but they have losses like at home to UVA. They lost at home to UVA 16-3, and last week they blew an 18-point lead to lose against Florida State on Thursday night at home. It'll be interesting to see how North Carolina bounces back from such a gut-wrenching loss on national television just a week ago. Mm-hmm. So Virginia Tech definitely has to pound the ball on the run, and of course the defense. You can expect Bud Foster's defense to throw some interesting packages against T.J. Yates and the company in North Carolina.
What are you hoping to see out of this game?
Well, of course, number one would be, of course, winning in a way that makes the offense look like it can do a pretty good job against a very tough North Carolina defense. Seeing Ryan Williams healthy. Making sure he's fully recovered. He's lost 8 pounds. He's weighed his lowest since, or he lost 8 pounds, which put him at his lowest weight since like his junior year of high school. He admitted. So I got my eye on Ryan Williams. We need that same Ryan Williams to have any shot, or to have a good shot at sneaking past Georgia Tech and into the ACC championship and maybe to the Orange Bowl for a third season in a row. And all you Tech fans who are really depressed about that Georgia Tech game and, national championship hopes are done, my life's over. No, it's not a big deal because, it's a big deal, but, Volvos are nice, I see the Orange Bowl as like a Volvo or maybe like an Acura. Like, it's a nice car, right? Be happy you got it. We're not getting the Ferrari this year, but we can keep hoping for next year.
Volvo.
Yeah, sell for Volvo for the Acura. It's a nice car. The Orange Bowl's a nice bowl. We all get to go to Miami. All right, we can't take things for granted, I don't think.
Things could be a lot worse.
We can party in Miami, so it's always good.
All right. Well, Thomas's column comes out tomorrow in Friday's paper, and his NFL column comes out every Wednesday. Thomas, thanks so much.
Thanks for having me, Kevin.